Hi, my name is Nathan Lee. I'm the sound designer for Delver's Drop, and today I'm going to show a little bit of the process of creating a new sound effect for a new animation in the game. So today I'm working on getting a sound added to this trap right here that the player's standing by. So basically anytime that I have an animation like this that I need to get a sound made for, I just watch the animation over and over again, really try to break it down into kind of its different elements, meaning, you know, what material sounds do I expect to hear by what I'm seeing, and what are there different events that are happening within the animation that I want to be sure that I represent. And that'll make sense here in a second. I'll show this particular animation, and then I'll kind of explain what I mean by that. So let's take a look. No sound on this. Let's do this. There, no sound, just animation by itself. Okay, so player walks over the trap, it pops up, you know, blades kick out, they spin around, it goes back into the ground. So I would watch this over and over again and really try to analyze that. So to speed things up, I've kind of already created some sounds and placed them in this session here. The first sound here for the trap popping up, right here. So that was just done using basically a kid's toy for the spring sound, and then using kitchen utensils like knives and salad tongs, things like that, scraping together to create that other metallic scrape. So there's the first sound there. Let's look and see, or listen to that in context here. So, all right, so I like the way that one sounded, so I left that one in, and then I kind of built from there, dragged in some of these other scraping sounds and figured out which ones are going to work well. I selected this one here, right? So this one in context, okay. So with the spring sound, okay. Now, and sometimes, you know, sounds, if they're more complex, you know, one sound won't do the trick. You'll have to stack some sounds on top of each other to really make it work, and that's what I've done here. So let's listen to a couple of the other ones here. This will be for when the blades spin around. Okay. In addition to that one, though, I also selected this one here, which I feel, you know, does a pretty decent job of the representing the blade spinning and also coming back into the ground. Okay. Now all together we have this. Okay. So this particular sound effect is made up of 4 individual sounds. So the spring, you know, popping up, the blade spinning around and locking back into the trap here. So our blades popping out rather and locking back into the trap, and then these 2 sounds that kind of make up the blades spinning and then kind of resettling and whatnot as well. So with those 4 sounds, you know, I'm happy with the placement. You know, I'll watch it over and over again to make sure that I'm happy with it. Once that I am, make sure all my sounds are selected, and then I'll export this as an individual file. Okay. Go back over to my session, find, have an empty track here, and then drop that mix into that. Copy it, make sure they're lined up, and also I'll solo these 2 lines or 2 tracks so I don't hear the other stuff that I just made. Now, I have these overlapped, and I'll explain why I do this in a second here. The reason why this also, the volume is set to -5 decibels. It's to balance out, so, you know, rather than having 2 sounds stacked on top of each other to make it twice as loud, I'm actually making it loud so the end product ends up being the same exact volume. So what I'm going to do is to this copy here, I'm going to add reverb onto it, but first I'm going to add some silence at the end of it to account for you know, the tail at the end of the reverb. So I added a half a second onto that. And then I have some presets that I made for Delver's Drop. Add some reverb onto it. Now we have, you know, it's going to sound more in context because, I mean, look at the room that the player's in right now. You know, there's some size there. There's, you know, marble floors, things like that. The sound's going to reverberate. So Oh, select those, make one more, make one more mix down to this, and then get rid of these. I don't need these anymore. And then drag this other one in, solo this track, put it at 0 decibels, and then line it up with this first one here. So now I can see it again in context. There, now we have a complete sound, and that's what can be used in game now. So that one's complete. That's pretty much my process for just about any animation I work on in the game like this. Thanks for listening, and look for more videos like this in the near future. Thanks a lot.